You know the people that say, you only have one life, so live it, do everything you want to do, see all the things you want to see. Do you think those people live in the UK or understand how difficult everything here is?
It is really a very depressed, miserable place.
Nobody looks happy. Like, everybody either looks angry. I'm just literally looking at people. Everyone either looks angry or kind of in a rush or sad.
If you're under 35 and live in the UK, here's my advice. Get the fuck out of this country.
The more time I spend in this country, the more it makes me realise how I don't want to be here long term.
It's changed. It's changed a lot since I was a little kid. And this country is no longer safe. It's not safe for women. It's not safe for our children growing up here. And to be honest, it's heading in a really, really bad direction. And the mainstream won't tell you this.
Right, so today I spoke to the police about something and I want you to see this for yourself, okay? I'm in Manchester city centre and I want to show you something.
You cannot put your purse on the back of your chair or in the chair next to you because someone will come and take it.
And the reality is, no one seems to be doing anything to fix it. No one seems to be elevating society.
So imagine this is your life. You wake up nice and early in the morning. You get out of bed, although you don't want to. You go and work 40 hours a week just to make ends meet. The cost of living's through the roof. You can barely afford anything. You can't afford food, heating, water, electricity, all the energy bills. Nursery bills are through the roof. Insurance bills are through the roof. Absolutely everything is constantly getting risen.
Do you know what's mental about living in the UK is you do not realise how depressing it really is and how much it gets you down until you leave.
Guys, the UK is actually so depressing. It's so fucking depressing. People live here for the weekend. I'm at work right now. It's currently 8:29 in the morning. The 9 to 5 is all a scam because it's really 9 to 9. We get paid pennies and chicken change.
UK is in a rough spot right now. Taxes, cost of living, housing, crime, even weather. People are working harder than ever but barely getting by. The system that's supposed to support us feels broken and anyone who's actually able to leave the country is doing it.
Welcome back to Broken Britain, where the dream is dead and reality's biting harder than ever. The truth is the UK isn't what it used to be, or what we were promised. Bills keep climbing, wages stay frozen, and every paycheck feels like a countdown to the next crisis. The housing market's a joke, groceries are daylight robbery, and even working full-time doesn't guarantee you can survive anymore. This isn't the Great Britain they sold us. This is Survival Britain. Today on Brit Rants, we're pulling back the curtain on what life here has really become, and why so many Brits are finally saying they've had enough. If you're tired of struggling in silence, hit subscribe, because it's time to start calling this country out, one rant at a time.
Okay, so it's coming up to 4:30 here now in the UK, PM that is, and as you can see, it's getting dark, and I'm literally sitting outside Morrison's now for you guys that don't know where I am, and I'm just looking at people and I'm observing, and it's like, it's cold, wet, rainy. A lot of people are in a rush. A lot of people here have just finished work. Nobody looks happy. Like, everybody either looks angry. I'm just literally looking at people. Everyone either looks angry or kind of in a rush or sad. Nobody looks like they're kind of happy or laughing or smiling. And I'm just observing people, and it is the sad reality of a lot of people in the UK. Like, a lot of these people have probably just finished their 9 to 5, which they don't like, been around people all day, which they don't like, and they're probably going to go home to a family which, yeah, okay, they love their family or whatnot, but if they could turn back time, they'd probably do their life a lot differently. And it's sad to see, man. And it's, even looking at like the kids that the families are with and stuff, I'm thinking your potential's going to be massive. Like, there's so much that you can do. I just hope that you don't fall into the trap of society and kind of be stuck in the same environment, because it's not healthy, man, and it needs to change. It's not good. And when you travel and when you see different parts of the world, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many other ways to live life and to explore life that you don't need to be stuck in this mental rut of the UK, because it's not good, man. And, yeah, it's about to get dark in like 10 minutes, so I'm going to end this TikTok anyway. But if you live in the UK or you've lived in the UK, can you relate to me? Do you know what I'm saying? Am I just talking gibberish, or can you actually see where I'm coming from?
So why are they doing this intentional decline to the country? My name is Sarah Hayati. I make money, make sense, and the rest. So the big question is why? Well, there are 5 reasons why they are doing all of this. Why are they intentionally fracturing society so that we stay divided? And then realistically, this is number 1. They can then bring out new acts of silence. Everyone, all the facts and the truths will eventually be censored because that's the game of control. You don't get to know. Number 2 will be that you will have absolutely no democracy. You will own nothing. The corporations will own everything. Number 3, they will restrict your movement. You will have limited use of your car due to climate control. Number 4 is you will have CBDC, central bank currencies, where everything you do and everything you spend will be tracked, and it will all be aimed towards climate control. And that is the excuse that they're going to do and use to take away your freedom. Every one of your activities, number 5, will be tracked, and it goes beyond what China have done, and all of this is going to happen in the West. If you're a Muslim, you'll understand what's going on because it's already been documented in the Quran. But if you're a non-Muslim, then I want you to listen up. The place to go is the East, because as much as some of you might hate it because you don't understand it and because they wanted you to hate it, they have Sharia law. Even if common law exists, the Muslim countries, non-Muslim countries, but somewhere where the law system is different. And if you're able to shift for the sake of your lifestyle, make the move. And if you're not, then keep watching, because I will give you solutions and guidance on what you can do to live through what is happening. So remember, wherever you go, wherever it is, if it's a Muslim country, you will always be welcome, because that's the way we are. As much as they've made you believe we're not. Much love to you guys, like deeply seriously.
Do you know what? It's time to talk about it. I have lived in England all my life, right? I'm basically 20 years old. It's changed. It's changed a lot since I was a little kid. And this country is no longer safe. It's not safe for women. It's not safe for our children growing up here. And to be honest, it's heading in a really, really bad direction. And the mainstream won't tell you this. But all the Labour Party have done since they've come into power is make everybody in this country fucking miserable. We're England, all right? We're fish and chips. We love a beer, all right? We love our culture. It's changing. They're trying to get rid of it. And it gets to a point where it doesn't feel like England anymore. I've lived here all my life. And now it's just sad, man, watching the way it's going. Like me, for example, I've always wanted kids, right? But the thought of bringing them up in this country now terrifies me. And I don't think there's a single solution, like one that will solve everything. But Labour don't seem to be trying anything. Do you know what I mean? All they seem to be doing, and it's all coming out now, is they've been covering things up. Keir Starmer, when he gets interviewed, he doesn't know what he's saying, right? And it's scary to think these people rule our country. And I know a lot of the far right-wing people will fuck it for everyone and be racist and all this stuff. I'm not that at all. However, changes do need to be made in this country because it is not safe, and it is not racist or any of these things to say that you don't feel safe in this country. This country is turning into a shithole, an absolute shithole. I just had to get it off my chest. Rant over. It's sad, man.
The more time I spend in this country, the more it makes me realise how I don't want to be here long term. If you're like me and you're in your 20s, you've probably thought about leaving the UK. And the sad reality is a lot of people out there don't want to take the risk. And if you're like me, you're going to take the risk. But trust me, guys, there's people out there who don't take the risk. And I just don't get it. What are you going to do? Spend the next 30 years at a job you don't like, commuting to work in traffic, which pisses you off, wasting money on food, which is extortionate prices. I went to Morrison's the other day and spent £15 and I got 3 items, or maybe 4. I think I got milk as well. It's like, what the fuck, man? Tell me how I've seen videos of people from across the world spending £5 and getting dinners for 2, and it's literally that kind of example. It's that extreme. Don't get caught up in this hustle UK rat race environment, man, because it's easily done. And a lot of people are in this situation. A lot of people are in that kind of environment, and it's sad to see because I don't ever want to be in that position. Like, I've worked shit jobs, and it makes me realize that, like, there's so much more out there, especially with the internet now. You can literally make money from anywhere in the world from just your phone. Like, from just your phone, there's people earning more than somebody who's been in a job for 20 years off one video on TikTok in a month. It's as simple as that, guys, and you need to open your eyes to realize this.
Right, so today I spoke to the police about something, and I want you to see this for yourself, okay? I'm in Manchester city centre, and I want to show you something. So you can see there's about 15 men standing against that wall, clearly not from the UK, because I've walked past them numerous times and I've heard them speaking their language and stuff. So I spoke to the police today, just beside where this is all happening, basically. So this is what's happening in the UK now, guys. Not only, these are the kind of people that is being led into the UK. What they're doing, right, is they're actually selling narcotics. I've seen it happening with my own eyes numerous times. I've been out of the country for the last 2 years. They're selling stuff to kids, which I've seen, white parcels handed over, tablet bags of stuff handed over, money handed over, and it's absolutely crazy. If I can notice that, and there's cameras everywhere, and there's meant to be police patrolling everywhere, how is there no stop to it? Like, it's clearly happening where you're from too. But this is the kind of people now that is coming in to the country. Don't get me wrong, anyone who has watched me for long enough, right, will know that I've been to the Middle East, I've been to other countries across Africa and stuff. I have no issue. I'm not racist. I am not judgmental in any way, shape or form about people coming here, right? But the amount of wrong people that you're letting across here and what they are doing, for me, it's not acceptable.
If you're under 35 and live in the UK, here's my advice. Get the fuck out of this country. Everyone's saying this on social media now, and there's a reason for that. This country is fucked. And I genuinely can't express how frustrating it is to see my homeland every year go more and more down the shitter. But the reality is, this country is inherently flawed in so many ways, politically, economically, and culturally. And it wouldn't be a proper video about Britain if I didn't mention how fucking shit the weather is. We've all started to notice that the weather's getting better, and let's be honest, Britain is great in the summer. But the problem is, this then distracts us from the problems that we have, and it happens every year. We go through this constant cycle of, it's so great in the summer, and then winter comes around again, and it's fucking shit. And the summer doesn't change the fact that this country has a huge problem with stagnating wages, a huge problem with inequality, and a huge problem with the cost of living, all of which we've had for years on end and aren't going to get better anytime soon. Not helped by the fact that for the past 15 years, our country has consistently voted in a political party that stand for inequality and the preservation of elites. The lifestyle here just isn't good for your mental health. The majority of Brits hate their job, so we spend most of our time doing something we hate and then blow out on the weekend with a load of booze, because our culture apparently is only centred on booze. Oh, and by the way, that booze, like almost everything in the UK, is taxed excessively, except from if you're a major corporation, because obviously they deserve to pay less tax. And there'll be no revolution when the Labour Party eventually get elected, which brings us to the flaw that nobody wants to talk about, our class system. Our society is still inherently caught up on a class system which we inherited from the fucking Normans. A prime example of which we'll see in a month's time when King Charles gets his coronation and half the country go out to kiss his arse, even though the royal family are just a bunch of rich cunts who've held power for centuries on end despite doing nothing to earn that. But apparently that's just how it should be. That's just society. Fuck off. So here's my advice. If you are in a fortunate enough position to be able to fund yourself and you don't have the responsibilities to look after people, piss off abroad. There's plenty of better countries out there. And yeah, sure, there are global economic problems at the moment and not every culture is perfect. But the thing is, Britain is particularly fucked at the moment, and it's not going to get better anytime soon. You get one shot at life. When you're on your deathbed, are you really going to look back and think, oh God, I'm so glad that I spent 60 years of my life under the shitty grey clouds of Britain, working in a job that I resent, so that I could save up enough money to buy a new build outside Milton Keynes by the time I was 40. So yeah, land of hope and glory my arse, and if you agree, drop me a follow.
Explain this two-tier tier. We have this man, Hugh Edwards, a now registered paedophile, watch what you say on here, spared jail after he was found with category A images of child abuse. And then on the other hand, we have this lady, Lucy Connolly, sentenced to 31 months in prison over a tweet that she apologised for and took down. That is the current state of the UK, 2025.
So imagine this is your life. You wake up nice and early in the morning. You get out of bed, although you don't want to. You go and work 40 hours a week just to make ends meet. The cost of living's through the roof. You can barely afford anything. You can't afford food, heating, water, electricity, all the energy bills. Nursery bills are through the roof. Insurance bills are through the roof. Absolutely everything is constantly getting risen. But that doesn't matter, because we'll just pay more tax after Labour saying, oh, we're not going to raise it. We're not going to raise the council tax, not a penny. And then raises the whole thing. Everyone has to fucking pay more tax now because of Labour. And guess who we all pay for? No, it doesn't go towards our country. It gets sent in foreign aid. It pays for fucking illegals to come over on boats. It pays for their dental care, their health care, their accommodation, their heating, their food, literally everything. And we just sit there like, oh, yeah, that's all right, yeah, so we'll do a little tweet. Oh, so annoying, Keir Starmer, so annoying. Is that the end of Great Britain then? Is that us done? Look at the birth rates of British people. They're so low at the moment because no one can fucking afford anything. I'm telling you now, it's happened so many times throughout history. If our whole country, and people have actually got their fucking heads screwed on properly, stood up and said, no, we're not going to pay our taxes, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that, we're not going to go to work, and literally the whole country went on strike and said, until you lower the cost of living, we're not going to go to work and we're not going to fucking do anything, and we're just going to cause problems the whole time. I'm not saying violence, okay, before you fucking please kick my door off, freedom of speech. If the whole country stood still and said, no, we're not fucking having this anymore, send them illegals back, we're not paying for them, we'll pay for our own elderly, not them fuckers, they'd actually do it. If the whole country stood still, there's millions of us compared to them fuckers that are in charge, that stood still and said, no, we're not having it, they'd have to listen. It's happened so many times. But everyone's so fucking, oh, just keep scrolling fucking videos, oh yeah, doesn't affect me, doesn't affect my life. It fucking does. And you'll see within the next 50 years, this country is going to be fucked compared to what it is now.
I've seen a lot of this on my For You page, so I'm going to chime in about how depressing British culture is, because I went to live in London for 6 months. And I experienced a bit of British culture. And I'm American, so I compare it to American culture. And it is really a very depressed, miserable place. And I thought to myself, I would never live here because of that. That's the truth. Now, I see myself as sort of British. My grandparents, when they were living in South Africa, they were living in the British Empire. And so, I mean, I've always supported British soccer teams and I feel quite British. So I don't mean it as a dig to British people. It's just that the people there don't seem like they're having fun. They seem like they're constantly trying to escape misery. They seem like their work is just so depressing, and that the joke is that everything is depressing and bad. And like, that's the entire sense of humor. It's like, this all sucks. Let's just make jokes about it. The class system is so obvious and weird. Like, they're just upper class people, lower class people, and you're just born into it. And the accents, you can tell based on people's accents, and that's weird. In America, it's pretty much like you have to give it to us, or to America, that you just earn your way. And I know there's lots of, people, you get born into things, you're lucky, but if you get rich, if you move up in your class, you're just able to. In England, it's like, you're never gonna really be upper class if you're born lower class. They'll always know that you're not, because it's about culture. It's not just about money, it's about like the way you act. And there's a lot of like inter-class like anger and like weird feelings. And also, I just want to say, there's a lot of anger in the culture. I was at a lot of games, soccer games, Premier League games, things like that. And the fans are so angry. Like, it's not like America where people get mad or whatever, and, but it's like normal. It's like they're a little mad. In England, they're like so pissed the whole time. They're just looking for like reasons to let their anger out. And there's so much anger. There's so much swearing. There'll be a 6-year-old just yelling the C word. It's like, what the hell? What's going on here? It's like borderline. I'm looking around thinking like, this is uncivilized. This is the nation that was telling everybody else, we're so civilized. We're going to civilize you. And I'm like, I haven't seen a bunch of people this uncivilized for my entire life. It's kind of a weird place. And they have so much like pride, but it's like they're not convinced of their pride. It's like if there wasn't somebody else telling you we don't like British people, then there wouldn't be a good enough reason to say, no, actually, we're all right. We're all right. You know, it's like if they had to be honest with themselves, they'd be like, this is bad. This is not very nice. This is not enjoyable. The politics is all super messy. And coming from America, I'm not, you know, ours is messy too, but politics is messy, weird. Things don't seem to be working. The economy seems to be backsliding. It just doesn't seem to be a great time to be like British. And I don't know what's going on really, but the vibe is off. The vibe is off. That's my opinion. The vibe is off. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of depression, a lot of depressing vibes. And they're almost like happy with the fact that it's depressing because that's what they know. They're like used to that. The men, like the whole toxic masculinity thing is like very, very real in England. It's like you can't, like there's a huge conversation about like, you know, suicides among men because men can't speak about their emotions. And there are tons of things about that. When I was in England, there were tons of ads about that. Like, please, if you're going through something, just speak up. It's like, well, damn, that's that prevalent in the society that has to be on TV all the time. Like, wow, that's pretty, it's a little dystopian to me. I mean, I don't know, I could probably say more, but I'll just leave it there. Disappointing. And I don't know what's supposed to happen, but it's not a very happy society. And I feel for them because I told you, I feel quite British. So it feels like kind of a part of me. It is really a very depressed, miserable place.
Guys, the UK is actually so depressing. It's so fucking depressing. People live here for the weekend. I'm at work right now. It's currently 8:29 in the morning. The 9 to 5 is all a scam because it's really 9 to 9. We get paid pennies and chicken change. And don't even get me started on what UK culture does to forget about their problems and drink all weekend or go to football games and shout and start scraps. That's it. That's the UK in a nutshell. Work, pub, football. There's literally nothing more after that. The weather's absolutely bipolar. You never know when it's going to snow, sleet or rain. And then on top of that, everybody's miserable. Everybody's miserable, they're rude. And people are getting at him in the comments saying, oh, it's because you're in London. I'm not a Londoner, I'm from Coventry, yeah? Coventry's dead. But I've lived in Birmingham, I've lived in Nottingham, I've lived in Sheffield, I've spent time in London. Like, I've spent time in these places. They're all the same. Granted, London's the worst, but everywhere else isn't that much better. And everyone's like, oh, go down south where the sea is. You see the sea, it's filled with rubbish. There's still people that are moody and miserable down there. Everything's still expensive. What's the point? You get rich and you go down to London and stay there or retire there. And there's nothing much to it. It is just a sad, depressing city. And this is just a sad, depressing country, guys. If you're not in London or you're not in England, I wouldn't suggest coming, and if you're here, I'd suggest leaving.
I am an American who spent the last 3 years living in England, and everyone always asks me if it's as bad as they say it is or portray it in the media right now, to which my answer is always, it's worse because you don't understand how this affects your day-to-day life. You cannot put your purse on the back of your chair or in the chair next to you because someone will come and take it. You cannot have your phone on the table because someone will walk by and take it. You cannot have your phone in your hand without it being connected to you via a strap because someone will take it. When I say someone, I mean migrants. Migrants from Muslim majority countries. Everyone knows it, no one wants to say it. And all of these crimes go unreported and unsolved. The first year I was there, 2021, I would wear my nice jewelry out and about, just like my everyday jewelry. And I would hear of things happening, but I wouldn't be like completely fearful. Second year, I started taking off my nice jewelry. Third year, I had to warn every single person that came to visit me not to wear your necklace because migrants from Muslim majority countries will come and just rip it off your neck. You literally have to make the decision if you want to live or wear nice jewelry because you know that you'll be a target. They will kill you for your watch. They will kill you for your earrings. They will kill you for your necklace. It happens all the time. It is now the normal and what you have to center your life around in England. If I'm going to dinner wearing nice stuff, I have to get in a cab, get dropped off right in front of dinner, be escorted to the door, and then escorted back into the cab, and then I'm home. But I was lucky enough to have a porter. And even in front of my building in West London, Zone 1, which is as nice as it gets, I would hear women screaming from my flat. Screaming about their phones being stolen, screaming about being scared, about being followed. You have to leave and live with the expectation that something bad is going to happen, and it's always at the hands of migrants from Muslim majority countries. The UK will fall because leftists want a virtue signal. Because these migrants, these open borders are all happening through leftist ideologies. Who you vote for matters. It affects your day-to-day life. Islam, the culture of Islam, not just the religion, the culture of it, because it's a way of life, it's not a religion, is inherently incompatible with Western culture. And we need to close our borders to all of them. Because it is suicidal to think that they will come into our countries and assimilate. They're not doing it. They're harming our women and children. It's suicidal empathy. And you're literally sacrificing women and children to virtue signal. You're sacrificing our safety to say that you're a better person. And guess what? You're not.
Here's the harsh reality if you're a young person living in the UK. Nobody wants to see you succeed. Everyone around you will put you on an imaginary limit of what you can achieve because they're scared that you will do better than them. They'll tell you that you can't make that much money, you can't drive that car, you can't get big at the gym. And the sad thing is, young people believe them. See, there was this experiment done on fleas that were inside of a jar that they could easily jump out of, except a lid was put on the jar and it was left there for 3 days. After the 3 days, the lid was taken off, and guess what happened? They jumped out, right? Nope, they did not. They only jumped as high as they could when the lid was on. This is because they were conditioned to think that this is the highest that they could jump. This is exactly what happens when everybody in the UK tells you to go and get a stable job instead of starting the business that you've always wanted to start, or when they make fun of you for eating healthy and getting yourself into the gym. What you need to do is ignore the noise and jump out of the jar.
While I go to pick up my medicine, let me tell you a story about why I'm so pissed off with the world. When I was a kid, my parents bought a home. They both worked regular jobs, and that home went up in value. They was able to buy a semi-detached in a nice area, nice garden. And that home went up in value, and we ended up in a detached home, nice garden. You know, we went on a couple of holidays a year. It's pretty normal life, privileged, you might say. I would say so. But then, when I left home, I started a business helping people off the dole into work. And it went well, you know. Well, I say it went well. You know, I was able to rent a flat, and I was able to have a car. So, you know, as good as it could be, right? Then 2008 came and wiped my business out, and me, and all my savings, and all of my customers. I was bankrupt. But I don't like to be defeated. So I went to university because everyone said if you had a degree, you'd be financially secure for the rest of your life. That's how I was brought up. So I went and got a degree, which I was really proud of. But I found that actually the jobs that were available to me after really didn't even pay as much as I was earning at my last business. So, you know, it really wasn't anything special. And not to mention, it was really difficult to get a job because it was a recession. Nobody was hiring. I got one though, back in recruitment. Right? You might wonder why I got the degree. I don't know either. Back in recruitment, I started to do well. So well, someone approached me to start my own recruitment business again, which I did. That was right before the pandemic. So I was furloughed from my own business, and the guy that invested in the business pulled out. So here I am, degree educated, 2 times entrepreneur, facing bankruptcy for the second time in my life. I didn't give up though. No. I went to college and I went and learned to become a carpenter. A really honest trade, honest work, honest money. Everyone told me you get a trade, you'll never have to worry about money again in your life. Problem is though, then I caught a disease. See? And it spread to my joints. And now I'm disabled. It takes me hours every morning just to get out of bed because everything is so sore and stiff. Sometimes my legs won't even support me anymore. I have to use crutches. So now I have no choice to claim universal credit and a small benefit for being unwell. And you come online, people call you a lazy scrounge. My whole career has been spent helping people get jobs, learning and developing my skills. And yet here I am, a scrounger. And let me tell you, living on benefits is no joke. You have to choose between clothing or food. It's horrible.
Do you know what's mental about living in the UK is you do not realise how depressing it really is and how much it gets you down until you leave. The moment you leave, we've just moved from the UK to Australia 7 months ago, right? And after a couple of weeks, we couldn't believe it. Just from a mental and well-being and happiness perspective, how much better we felt. Like we've got so much more energy, way more get up and go to do things. There's so much of an outdoor lifestyle here. Like, you know, the UK, unfortunately now for the next 9 to 10 months, you're going to have awful, dark, gloomy weather. And you just do not realise how much it impacts you and gets you down. Like here in Australia, the weather's tremendous. There's unbelievable amount of free activities to do. You know, you can go to the beach, you can go to national parks, everything's clean. It's just such a nice place. Yeah, when you live in the UK, you live in this bubble. And unfortunately, you're not aware of how much that bubble affects you until you leave. Like moving to Australia from the UK has literally changed our lives. Like we're happier day to day. We live a much more comfortable lifestyle. We literally work the most ordinary jobs that you could possibly imagine, get paid more money. We live a much better financial life, way more sustainability in terms of our finances. It's a lot more flexible. You get paid every 2 weeks here, which is just really cool and something to get used to. So you don't worry about money too much. And it's just a different ball game. And the moment you leave the UK is when your eyes are truly opened. Like I've got so many friends that live abroad and they told me for years, you need to get out of the UK. It's affecting you. It's not a nice place to live. I've got friends in Dubai, Thailand, America, all across Europe. And all of them say that they would never move back to the UK. The only reason that they would go back to the UK was because of friends and family. And I get it. We miss them. We do miss them. I'm not disputing that. However, I just couldn't go back there. Having lived here in Australia now, I just could not fathom going back there to that depressing place. And I hate talking down about it. I've done 2 tours of Afghanistan for my country. Very, very passionate Englishman. However, the country that I used to love no longer cares about the people that live there. The cost of living is astronomical. What you get for your money in the UK is just awful. Like, I just don't know how people do it. If you're one of those individuals that has bigger aspirations, that wants to at least try, leave the UK, and you don't have, if you haven't got many responsibilities, great. But even if I had a family, I would be getting them out of the UK. Like I've said previously, 1/5 of UK millionaires have left the country and taken their money with them. And normally if they're millionaires, it's because they're quite intelligent and smart. Why have they left? It's because unfortunately now the UK cannot offer people the life that it used to. If you're thinking about getting out, now is the time.
You live in Croydon. What's life like in Croydon in 2024?
I can't swear.
You can if you want.
Shit.
Yeah. Why do you say that?
Well, I've lived here all my life. It's changed tremendously.
So when did you notice Croydon changing if you've lived here all your life?
I would say within the worst part has been since the last 5-6 years.
Yeah.
And even before that, it was going downhill. But it's just not my Croydon anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so different. And I mean, years ago, I'd say to people, oh, go to Croydon. It's a lovely place. You know, you can get people to help you.
So you used to have a good sense of community back in the day?
But now,
You don't feel
nothing.
No.
I don't feel it's anywhere near that.
It's got some really bad crime statistics.
Very much so.
Do you feel that living here?
Yes, I do. I mean, to be quite honest, I don't go out after about sort of 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, even though at the moment it's still light at that time. But in the winter time, I wouldn't go out after that time because I'd be too frightened.
Yeah, it's a scary place after dark.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. This is a memorial here to one of the victims of knife crime here in Croydon, young lady I read about before I came here, unfortunately, was stabbed to death, which just shows you how dangerous it is for young people if they're in the wrong place.
Loads of tents straight about. It's fucking ridiculous. So we're going to do something about it.
We found a load of tents and mattresses all strung up Tottenham Court Road, so we offered out some hot drinks, hot food, clothes and some snacks. We poured up some hot drinks and they were extremely grateful. There were tents after tents after tents of people failing to have their basic needs met. There were even an unlucky few without tents, so we made sure to give those out as well. After being homeless at 17, I know what it's like to not have your basic needs met. The world out here is unforgiving, and I need your guys' support by sharing this so we can give back and keep on doing these videos.
There were quite a lot of people that we gave stuff out to, but out of pure respect for them, I'm not going to be putting loads of clips up. Anyone that has been recorded, I've asked them, I've spoken to them. Any money that's going to be made from this is going straight back into this. If you look at my bio, we've got Lost Souls in there. They're the ones who are making this possible. It's Luca. She's been doing all this with me. She's the one who got me housed and helped me out of the whole thing. She's absolutely amazing, so I recommend you go to her page. Even if you haven't watched fully, just like, share. We're trying to make a change. The system's broken, so let's do something about it.
You know the people that say, you only have one life, so live it. Do everything you want to do. See all the things you want to see. Do you think those people live in the UK or understand how difficult everything here is? Sunday I went out for a meal, which I know is a lovely thing to be able to do. However, my meal was mediocre and it was bloody expensive. And when you spend all of your time working, like we all do in the UK, because we are literally working to exist, there is no pleasure in life here unless you're very, very, very wealthy. You are working to exist. And at the moment, it's a bit of a crap existence because, like with me on Sunday, you go out, you have a meal, the bill comes up, it's extortionate. I understand, restaurant prices go up because produce goes up, and they're trying to make money as well, right? I get it. However, it's just so hard here. And I know that some of you are going to be like, oh, get the violins out, poor her. It's not just me, it's all of us. It's all of us that are trapped here. We're all struggling. None of us can afford to do anything. None of us can afford to actually enjoy our lives because we are all on this continuous hamster wheel of getting up, going to work, doing a job that we really dislike, to make a very small amount of money, to not enjoy the time off that we have because we can't afford to do everything or anything because everything's so overpriced here, so expensive. And that's it? Really? We have 2 weeks a year where we get to go on holiday, which again is ridiculously expensive because most of us are governed by the airlines that hike the prices up during the summer holidays, so we can't afford to go away with our children, and yet that's the only time we have. It is really hard. And, the cost of living just continues to soar. And we also have all of the added other problems that go with living in the UK, such as immigration and a government that are completely and utterly useless. And most of us could do a better job with our eyes closed, our hands tied behind our back and our feet bound together in a box, quite frankly. In fact, my dog would do a better job in Parliament right now. So, yeah, it's hard. It's hard for us all. And, who are those people that really get to live every day, love it, wake up in the morning and go, shit, yeah, look at this. This is amazing. Yes, we're lucky. Yes, we're alive. I know all that. But being alive is one thing. Loving your life and enjoying every day to the fullest, that's another thing. And how many of us in the UK actually get to do that on a day-to-day basis?
The standard of living in the UK is atrocious. 38% of people are classed as overweight. The median household income is just shy of £38,000. And it feels like this is getting harder and harder, worse and worse every year. And the reality is, no one seems to be doing anything to fix it. No one seems to be elevating society. So what can we do as individuals? What can we do to try and help ourselves progress further in life, to elevate our own standard of living? Well, ultimately, it all starts with us. Yes, there are external dependencies, but they're all outside of your individual control. First, you have to focus on getting better yourself, getting fitter, getting smarter, getting into a healthier state mentally. All of these things contribute to your ongoing success and the elevation of the standard of your living. But where can you start? It feels like there's so many barriers to entry with something like this. Well, I think we need a community that focuses on elevating that average, picking up this society and elevating it to a much higher standard. So that's why I'm building the Kaizen Society, focused on incremental improvement for everyone, no matter who they are or where they come from. This lifestyle should be accessible to absolutely everyone. So this community will be free and it will be tagged in this video. So join us today and come on this journey with us for you.
Am I the only one that is absolutely exhausted by living in this country? So my name's Holly. I live in just outside Edinburgh in Scotland. I have a daughter who is nearly 8. She has autism. I have a son who is 2. He has ego issues, and I work full time, and I just feel completely scunnered with the whole thing. I feel like I am working. The most of my working I do is to pay for the childcare so that I can work. That's the biggest part, right? So I feel like I'm continuously dropping off my children to great, amazing childcare places. We are so lucky, but it is a lot of money. So you do that, and that gets you out the door, gets you to the work, and then, everything has went up so much recently that I just don't understand how we're doing it, which is why I have a little dream that I probably just don't want to do it anymore. I would quite like to I'm waiting for a viewer right now. My house is on the market. I'd like to sell my house, and I would like to take my family and go and travel, see a bit more of the world, get a bit of understanding. What are the opportunities? What are other countries doing? Is there other ways? I've been in sales my whole life. Can I do something else? What are the capabilities that we are missing because we're just so busy trying to get from A to B, and that is becoming harder and harder and harder. So I would love to know the thoughts of other people. Like, is this like naive little princess thoughts of me? Is this, am I on the right track here? I'm perplexed at the situation. Like, I knew adulting was probably never going to be a big me thing, but it's hard out here. It is hard out here. So yeah, if you're new here, my name's Holly, and I am going to be trying to run away for a little while and try and find out some more things, take my kids with me. My little girl's in a great school, but her learning skills are outside the classroom. She's an adventurer, so that's what we want to do, and we would love to take you with us, and I'll share the good, the bad and the ugly. If you're up for that, come on, join us. We'll get a wee crew here going. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. It's Sunday. Let's be honest with each other. I can take it.
Is it just me, or why does it feel like the UK is so far away from God right now compared to every other country in the world? I mean, come on, there is no denying the UK is in a rough spot right now. Taxes, cost of living, housing, crime, even weather. People are working harder than ever, but barely getting by. The system that's supposed to support us feels broken, and anyone who's actually able to leave the country is doing it. And to me, it just feels like, where are we as a country right now? And what is the root cause? What is the deeper issue behind it all? And the conclusion that I've come to, and it's pretty clear for all to see, but we're not just struggling financially, we're not just struggling politically, we are struggling spiritually. As a nation, we have lost a sense of purpose and connection. In a culture so focused on self-reliance and distractions and materialism and hypersexualization, people have stopped looking up for guidance, but have actually started looking at other people for guidance. It's not that God isn't there, it's that we've stopped listening and stopped looking for him. And in the UK specifically, there's such a negative stigma around faith. People see it as religion and all these rules and irrelevant and unnecessary. But the truth is, the further we push God out, the more disconnected we become with ourselves, with other people, and from that deeper meaning that we are all searching for. Faith isn't about religion or rituals. It's about hope. It's about love. It's about all these things that people are searching for, but in all the wrong places. So yes, as a nation, we may be far off from God right now, but that distance doesn't have to be permanent. It starts with individuals like you and me choosing to seek him in our own lives, because one person's faith can start a conversation. That conversation can start a movement. That movement can start a revival, and that revival can change everything.
Let's look at the numbers, because they don't lie. Inflation may have slowed on paper, but food prices are still 25 to 30% higher than they were just 2 years ago. The average UK rent has smashed through £1,300 a month. And if you're in London, you're looking at well over £2,000. Meanwhile, real wages have barely moved in a decade, meaning most Brits are getting poorer while working harder. And yet, the government tells us things are getting better. For who, exactly? Because for millions of us, it's not getting better, it's getting unbearable. We've hit a point where surviving in your own country feels like a luxury. That's not progress, that's collapse. And it's not by mistake, it's by design. The system isn't broken by accident. It's working exactly as intended, to protect the powerful, punish the working class, and keep ordinary Brits in constant struggle. But we're not powerless. We can demand better, fair wages, affordable housing, accountability for where our taxes go. We can rebuild this country from the ground up, for the people who actually live here. So don't just scroll past this. If you're tired of being squeezed while they profit, hit subscribe, drop a comment, and share this message, because we're not staying silent while they sell off what's left of this country.